6.
Okay, good point. So the idea was to see if other models of spiritual consciousness are able to shed light on Abdu'l-Baha's stages of the soul. Consequently, I designed the last class of part 2 as an opportunity for everyone, particularly those we haven't heard much from during the last 9 classes, to begin to compare for themselves Abdu'l-Baha's stage descriptions with Sri Aurobindo's higher levels of mind. So from a pedagogical point of view, I'm eager for everyone to engage in active learning in order to integrate some of what they've heard and read. The act of struggling to assimilate some portion of what I have presented is an important component of my overall goal. It doesn't matter to me how small or large the portion actually is. The way I see it, any forward movement, no matter what its dimensions, is noteworthy. Otherwise, the course will have been a complete waste of your time. So tonight, I would like to hear what the silent majority thinks. If that results in nothing but questions and sticking points, I'd very much like to know that. Please think of this evening as your way of providing meaningful feedback to me as your instructor. As I've previously hinted, I've been struggling with the task of comparing Sri Aurobindo's higher levels of mind with the stages of the soul as described by Abdu'l-Baha in his commentary on the Surah of Rum. The difficulties inherent in this task gradually became clear to me over the past few weeks. I have 5 difficulties that I want to mention. First, to my knowledge, no one has ever attempted such a detailed comparison of these 2 models. We are truly breaking new ground this evening. Secondly, the subject matter of both models of consciousness is genuinely exalted, far beyond the ordinary range of thought. 3, the language is rarefied, even mysterious in places. Number 4, the special terminology is based on 2 radically different religious heritages, Islam and Hinduism. And 5, on the surface, the approach each takes to spiritual psychology also appears to diverge. So in order to successfully compare these 2 models of spiritual consciousness, I realized that I need your help. Some of you attended Jennifer Phillips' Big Ideas Zoom presentation on June 18th, in which she explained the wisdom of crowds. The main idea was that groups of people, often possessing little or no subject matter expertise, are able to solve difficult problems surprisingly quickly, even effortlessly. Now, in our case, we're undoubtedly facing a difficult problem. But the good news is that our group possesses more than a little subject matter expertise on this question. You are all mature, deepened Baha'is, which means that you are in an excellent position to grapple with this relatively unknown work of Abdu'l-Baha's. And having attended 16 hours of classes on Sri Aurobindo, you have acquired a certain familiarity with his vision of the Arc of Ascent, which he attained through his extensive yogic practice. For these reasons, I believe that the wisdom that our group can muster has a much better than average chance of overcoming this particular hurdle. As an aside, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your willingness to accompany me on this journey into the spiritual unknown. I am only now beginning to realize how intimidating it can be to open yourself to the summit of another religious tradition for the first time. Such a meeting not only presents linguistic and altitude challenges, it can also initiate an uncomfortable internal dialogue concerning the relative merits of both traditions. However, I believe that in the end, your faith is strengthened by this kind of interreligious encounter. Therefore, I want to salute your readiness to accept this demanding challenge. I'm confident that you will soon see numerous rewards flowing from this choice, if you haven't already begun to do so. As you already know, I am proposing that we hold a formal group consultation on this subject. Actually, It's going to be 2 smaller group consultations, followed by 1 large one. I'm delighted to say that Jack and Durham have showed up tonight. Harold, I don't know, where is he? So they've agreed to facilitate 2 Zoom breakout sessions, which Linda has organized for us. I mean, we're going to have to adjust the membership. I think if you want to just change the people from Harold's group to split them in the other 2, that would be great, Linda. So hopefully you've had a chance to reread paragraphs 5 through 21 of the Stages of the Soul that I sent out quite a while back. If you did, I'm wondering if you discovered that Abdu'l-Baha's explanations were somewhat more understandable than when you last read them. If not, this feedback would be valuable to me. So with your homework under your belt, I'd like to take the next 30 minutes to discuss your thoughts about the following question with the members of your small group. And I'll just repeat this. In what specific or general ways has our investigation of Sri Aurobindo's greater psychology helped you to understand Abdu'l-Baha's Stages of the Soul as described in his commentary on the Surah of Rum? So Jack and Durham will be soliciting feedback from each person in your group. Your responses can take the form of comments, insights, questions, or identifying muddy points, things where you just couldn't understand what we were talking about. And then you can take any form you want. And I'm also open to receiving emails later on if you feel more comfortable doing it that way, just one-on-one with us, that's fine. So once we return to the full class, I will ask each group leader to give a 5-minute report of the discussion within their group. Then I will open up the discussion to the whole group. And then after that, I will share my own reflections on comparing Aurobindo and Abdu'l-Baha's models. Now, I'm not sure about the timing. So I'm saying 30 minutes, but I'm hoping that Jack and Durham will send me a note in the chat if you feel that you've run out of comments, there's no more point in staying in your group. And we'll just pull back at that point. If it's 15, 20 minutes in, okay. I don't want to force everybody to be out in limbo for 30 minutes. But if you catch fire and you really want to talk longer, so be it. We'll still cut you off at 30 minutes, but what can I say? So this is the first time I've ever had to handle breakout rooms. Linda's done them several times, but I've never been involved. So if the worst happens and somehow you lose connection, just quit Zoom and come back in through the link, okay? And then we'll all meet together. So are there any questions or comments or clarifications that you need at this point? Anybody? No?
So I'll stop recording at this point.
I guess you should. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay.